Alright guys, so I'm back at the drift car. So like I said last week, this week I'm going to be trying to work on the power steering relocation. Basically what we're going to do is I'll take this nasty sack off. Basically this was just keeping it so when it was leaking out and stuff it wouldn't get all over the place and start a fire. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut these two, or take out these two bolts there, take out this bolt here, and we'll get this free. This is pressurized and there is fluid in here, so I'm gonna have to drain the fluid. So that's mainly gonna be the first step. So what I'm probably gonna do is take this hose off here, pop the hose off, let it drain out of the reservoir, and then start draining it from the actual system itself. Now I've taken it off, so I've taken these bolts out. This one I'm pretty sure is stripped, but I'm getting rid of that tab anyway, so don't worry about it. Basically the reservoir slips off, then you're just gonna have to take it off this hose here. That's actually the high pressure hose that goes to the pump. And then this hose comes down and around to this line right here. So I'm gonna cut this line like right about here. The reason why is that I'm gonna get a high pressure line from the auto store, basically like clamp it there, and then I'm actually gonna put it up. And where I'm gonna put the power steering reservoir is actually, I'm gonna bolt one hole to this right there, and then I'm gonna self tap another hole right next to it. So I'll show you guys how that's gonna look right now. So as you guys can see, all I did was self tap for that, hook that up with the same exact screw OEM hole from there, and that's about it. So it's nice and even, nice and level. Okay, so like I said, the next step, basically, once you have that mounted up, is you're just gonna have to cut this line. So mine runs a little bit behind this bracket here, so all I'm gonna do is to basically undo that bracket, push it over a little bit, use a self tapper, tap it in, and then I'll actually use like a high pressure hose from like this point on to here. And then the back hose, so where you can see where the paper towel is, it's gonna run up and basically follow this same line where this used to run, and that's gonna actually go to the this T piece right here, or an L piece I would say, because it goes like this, like this. So this big hose right here, that's what I'm talking about. So what you're gonna have to do, there's two 10mm bolts. You're gonna have to undo those and then flip this L piece to face this way. It's facing back towards the engine bay. We need to flip it and face it that way, and then we'll put that hose on and run it down and around into the bottom of the reservoir. So that's what I'm doing now, since I self-tappered that up. Now all I gotta do is switch the L piece to turn it this way, and then go get some hose and get it cut to the right size. Okay guys, so I got those two bolts off. So they're actually 12mm bolts. So all you gotta do is take those two off, the top one and the bottom one, and then you see that L shape now, the black into the silver. That's all I did, is I flipped it this way, so now it's facing towards the headlights. And yeah, that's about it. So it is a messy job, so I would say just be very careful. But so basically I'm gonna run it from that right there down and around to up here, and then run that little one down to that line again. All right guys, so the next step, I did it all. So basically all I did is I cut that line, self-tapped this line into there, tighten this up with a clamp, tighten this side up with a clamp, and then I ran the bigger hose to the bottom here around. So I went through the lower hole, not the upper hole where we did like all the wiring and such. So I went by the radiator down low, around, up, through here, to right there. And that goes to the power steering pump. And as you can see, this line, it's not gonna touch, it's tight. You have about an inch or two away from that pulley, and that's about it guys. So real simple. Like I said, all I really did was just use this OEM hole for the AIV, use the self-tapping screw there, and then like I said, just cut the lines and did that. And now the power steering is officially gone. So now you could like get rid of this tab, get rid of this tab. So I'll be doing that later on, but that's what I did. And then the line that I cut, that I sawed off here, all you have to do is there's like one little bolt down here, one little 10mm bolt. All you do is pull that out, and then you can just bend the line around, pull it out, and toss it. So that's what I did. So it's sick. I'm excited. So yeah, so I mean, it's pretty simple. It takes maybe an hour or two if you have everything together. So really easy. Next week, what I'll be trying to do is cleaning up the backside now. So cleaning up all this stuff, battery relocate, cleaning up all these lines and such. So that'll be next week. This week, like I said, all I was really focused on was that. So that's good. So yeah, so we'll finish that up. I also did have a fellow Z32 member ask me about where I bolted my handbrake to. So this is basically what I did for that. Okay, so basically what I did is I went to levelrideconcepts.com. I got this plate here for my hydro handbrake. So with that, they give you 4 holes that were already like drilled out. So there's one there, there's one there, there's another one down here, and there's one there. So now basically what I did is those holes don't match up with the OEM ones, like typically where your shifter bracket would sit. So what I did is basically self-tapped, I lined everything up, I drilled a hole through the shifting bracket on each corner, and then what I did is I lined it up, self-tapped the screws through this into the Level Ride Concepts bracket into the body. And then after all that, I made sure that the OEM bolts for the shifting bracket lined up. So that's what I did with there. It's really simple. Just Level Ride Concepts, plate, then you put your regular shifting bracket up, then you just self-tap, and then you use OEM bolts. And it's super simple. And then for this, I had to drill out myself because they didn't have the holes on the side plate, because obviously people are different. They might want it on this side, might want it on this side, so you just have to self-drill your holes here. I have one in the front, and then, or 2 in the front and 1 in the back, because this one, it gets caught up on this wall here, so it doesn't really work, but this one doesn't, and then these 2 don't up front here. So, and then I just I went and got some hardware at my local hardware store and put it together. So that's how I put my handbrake together real quick for you guys. So if you guys are running into any snags or anything, that's basically what I did. Obviously you can do it on this side too, but I don't like how that fit with the pod cluster and everything, so I put it on the right side. So again, Level Ride Concepts, check them out. They're awesome guys, and let them know that obviously the Z-Bruhz sent you. So going on from there, follow our Instagram page, give us a like, give us a shout out here or there, use the hashtag Z-Bruhz. And then going on from there, guys, like I said, next week we got tons of footage coming up, so be excited. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and like I said, we're always looking for feedback, so give us some down below. Peace, guys.